Hello there, and welcome to the Botswana Bureau of Standards podcast, The Quality Drive. Thank you so much for being part of our community, and I would like to invite you and encourage you to continue engaging with us through your comments, likes, and subscription. You can help us by sharing this episode so that we can grow our community. My name is 𝐓𝐡𝐞 𝐐𝐿, and as usual, I'm your host. In today's episode, we will be continuing with our discussion on registration of locally manufactured electrical regulated products. Today, we will be focusing on a number of products such as hammers, concrete vibrators, and many more. As usual, I'm not alone. I am joined by Beni, who is our expert. He is the principal engineer here at Botswana Bureau of Standards. And we are going to be discussing the registration of regulated products, electrical products, as I've already mentioned. Mr. Beni, it's always a pleasure having you on the Bob's podcast.
Thank you.
Okay, as we start off our discussion, I would like us to recap on what we have discussed last week. We have introduced the topic last week as we were focusing on a number of products, mainly household electrical products. Can you take us through the standards, compulsory standards regulation of 2023, which came into action in 2024? What are the requirements of the regulation, and why is it important for local manufacturers to register with the as per the requirements of the regulation?
Thank you, Malebani. As indicated, Mr Beni from the Standards Department. Your engagement. Like we indicated last time, standards are important because they can be used to protect us. They can be referenced by the manufacturers and even the regulators, similar to the ones that we are going to be discussing today. And then in terms of what is required to be registered with Botswana Bureau of Standards, you fill an application form. An inspection is done at your premises. If you are successful, you are registered with Botswana Bureau of Standards. I should also indicate that during inspection, sampling and testing also occurs. And then after that, if you are successful, you are registered for a 3-year cycle. And then within those 3 years, you'll be sampled and inspected.
Currently, we have quite a number of electrical products saying they are deemed as compulsory and they are regulated by Botswana Bureau of Standards. Today we will be looking at I think about 10 of them, which are basically which covers tools that are used in wood, metal, and other different surfaces. Can you take us through those products that we are looking at today?
Okay, thank you, Malevan. I should just also indicated, or last time we covered sockets, 13M socket outlets, 16 socket outlets, 13M and 16 adapters. We also talked about wiring cables and then audio-video devices. These are devices that if you are manufacturing them, you have to register with Botswana Bureau of Standards. If you are importing them, you have to contact Botswana Bureau of Standards and you are given a compliance certificate. Also, as listeners, if you have a problem with these devices, don't hesitate to contact Botswana Bureau of Standards. As you have indicated, today we are talking about power tools. These are the ones that we use, momala being, body drill, I'll take them one by one, indicating the relevant standard, the scope, and some of the key requirements. The first one is BOSS IEC 60745-2-1. These are handheld motor-operated electrical tools, safety, particular requirements for drills and impact drills. I think drills, we know them. These are the power tools that we use when we want to maybe drill the wall so that we can maybe hang a picture and stuff like that. And then what is required in a drill? A drill has to have a trademark or trade name. Manufacturer and then it also has to have a model number. And then also it has to indicate the rated speed in revolutions per minute, and also the capacity of the chuck. Like 20 millimeters, so that when you go buy, you can buy the right one. It should also be indicated with or marked with voltage requirements. These are the voltage, the frequency, and the power, such that when you are using it, you can know is it here 440 or 250 volts. so that you use it appropriately. And then it also has to have instructions in the official language, which is either ka Setswana or ka Sekgowa.
Okay, ha re tswalla gongwe o re ditsele halalo ka go latella ga tsone gona le tse dingwe tse ileng gore they are motor operated, the handheld motor operated electric tool. Ke kopa gongwe le yone halalo o re itsele o re nang kolele gone gore the specifications tsa teng.
No, thank you for that. The next one it's covered under BOSS IEC 60745-2-3. They are covered by the standards of BOSS IE 60745, and then they would have different parts. Like the first one in Iriwian part 2, the next one it will be part 3. So that that mouthful. So the next one it talks to grinder, polishers, and then these type sanders. I think grinders we are aware of them. We use them or grinder sing. That's the common language we use. In terms of what is required, similar to the first one, it has to have a trademark, it has to have a model number, and then it has to have those voltage, power, and frequency marked. And then, in addition, a grinder, it has to be such that it's provided with a grasping surface, how can it such that it's safe. That is one of those additional requirements. And then also it's in what we call a guard, because if you look at a grinder, a disc, that disc, if it's in use, and then the next one, which is part 4, this one is particular requirements for senders. Sender a surface. So in terms of what is required more sendering, the requirements are similar to the other ones in Skidibwe, because this is a family of standard. Then some additions. But just to recap the requirements, the first one is identification or trademark, even model number. This is for traceability. And then in addition, it's also indicate that the voltage, the power, and the frequency. And then in addition, it's also even a guard, so that it can protect you how it is. And then one of those markings, it's at the speed in revolutions per minute.
You can share with us the current situation in the market. I do believe that we have local manufacturers by they produce this type of products. What is the status quo at the moment? Do we see local manufactured products complying with the standards, or the other way around?
I think for this one, so far in counter the manufacturer, we basically importing them. So which is a problem is the tools that we import or they are written in language in order so then it's going to be very difficult for you to understand if it's not in either Setswana or English, because those are the local languages or the official language already.
Then in terms of safety, what can we say about the safety of those imported products? How are they performing?
In terms of safety, matata ya ka ke bua tshwanetse go etseng gore di makilwe in a language that is not English, go thata gore le rona re di tlhaloganye gore di tswa kae go iragalang ka tsone. So in that case it's also already recorded so that they can then fix them if they meet our standard.
Okay. I think we can continue with the different products and the different standards that we are looking at today.
Okay. Thank you for that. The next one, part 5. This one is particular requirements for the secular source. I think but it's called a secular saw. What you need to have, similar to the previous one, trademark, model number, frequency, voltage, and power. And then in addition, you have to make sure you provide a guard. Because if you can remember, a secular saw is something sharp. So if you don't guard it, which is what we are trying to protect you against. And then, like indicated, the language that is used is also the official languages, which is English or Setswana. All these markings that I'm talking to, they should be on the tool or on the appliance. It's a ordinary boxing, because generally after you buy an appliance, when you use it, you take it out of the box. So if these markings are in the box, and then the next one, part 6, this one are particular requirements for hammers. It's an electric hammer that as a power tool. And then in terms of what is required, similar to the previous one, get trade marker, get model number, get voltage, le frequency. And then in addition, you have to indicate the impact energy and then the impact rate, because hammer is so that we say the right one. And then the next one that is regulated is part 12. This one, it deals with concrete vibrators, like the word suggests, it's a concrete thing, or whatever you're doing dealing with concrete. So what is required on this one? It has to have a trademark, a model number. It also has to have a guard, a voltage, frequency, and the power. And then the instructions, it's also readily or and then it has to be such that thing will operate safely.
Okay. Let's say we have a local manufacturer, the opportunity to produce these products locally. They will be importing the products from outside. How is Botswana Bureau of Standards assisting, helping the manufacturers out there or the traders to meet the requirements of the standards? What is it in place for one to check to ensure that the product complies?
I think in addition to the regulatory aspect, there is a testing aspect a lot of Botswana Bureau of Standards can do for you. If you are dealing with these tools, contact us so that we make sure they comply. Because remember, when you are manufacturing, you are not only manufacturing for the local market. It's possible to over export. So if you have complied to the standards of what test with DCM, it can be also to your benefit.
Okay.
Thank you, Malebane. The next one, Ibitwa, part 13, these are particular requirements for the chainsaws. Remember, Hellenic, we are an Ibitwa secular saw. This one is a chainsaw, the electric one. But this excludes fuel, petrol, way. This one we're talking to the electric chainsaws. What you require on this one, you have to have a trademark, a model number. Like I indicated, this is for traceability purposes. And then in addition, you have to provide a guard such that safe.
Okay.
And then the last one, so planner. These are the ones that you use in the wood or soften the wood. This would be the electric planner. It's in the mechanical one. And then Leone similarly, it's identification, which is or the trademark, it's the reference or the model number, and then maybe make voltage, frequency, the power.
Okay. Mr. Beni, we have quite a number of electrical products out there. How did we arrive to having this deemed as compulsory and regulated? Only certain number of products
I think the first aspect is to realize the standards are developed by what you call a technical committee. So when the technical committee was looking at the Botswana market, these power tools are available in the Botswana market. So we need to develop a safety standard for those particular power tools. And then the second aspect, because these are safety standards, and then safety is something that is very, very important. So with time, or as time goes on, the list can change depending on more market than but I like to emphasize or standard how they develop BOPs. BOPs facilitates the development of the standard. The technical committee are the ones who have the expertise, and then they adopt and develop these particular standards.
As a consumer or a manufacturer, you can suggest to Botswana Bureau of Standards or we require this type of product to be regulated.
No, definitely you can do that as the consumer.
Okay. Now, as we focus on the registration of locally manufactured products, can you take us through the process of applying for the registration?
Okay.
What does one need to know?
Thank you for that. Registration, like I indicated earlier, the first part you have to come to BOPS and then you get an application form. And then what will then give you is called local manufacturers guidelines, such that di go bontsha gore what you need. And then after that, an inspection is done at your premises. And then also, in addition, the product are sampled and then they're going to be tested. And then there will be a periodic inspection during the 3-year cycle. The certificate is valid for 3 years. And then depending on the risk, it's either you can be inspected annually or biannually, just depending on how you did when you have been assessed. I think I should also indicate that it's important for the manufacturers to contact Bob so that they can get a quotation, because the price would differ depending on the standard and how it's manufactured.
Okay. What happens to those manufacturers or those businesses that maybe will miss this information and they will not be able to register with Bob's?
I think currently I can intensify the public awareness. We hope no one misses this information. But if we find that you are not registered, there are penalties that you can face. This include fines up until you comply with the process, because this is meant to protect the consumer. So if you have not contacted us and we have not inspected or sampled or tested your product, are you sure is it safe to be used in the market?
So say, for example, you are based in Kasani and you are based far away from Gaborone. If you want to register, you have to come to Botswana Bureau of Standards to collect the application form. So what happens to those who are far from our offices?
Come to us. Remember, you can access us physically, either mo Gaborone or Francistown. You can access us more social media or send either Twitter or what have you, or send more Facebook. You can also send an email and then we can send you these requirements. Remember, because of technology, we can even do visual inspections.
Oh, okay.
We
so
embrace
that's
technology. Everything is possible with technology. Even telephonically, you can always call us and then we'll find a way of assisting you.
That's interesting. That's really a good initiative. As we wrap up our discussion, Beni, the registration of locally manufactured electrical products. Can you share with our viewers the fundamental purpose? Why is it important? Just to buttress on the discussion, why is it important for them to register with the Botswana Bureau of Standards?
I think the first one is we are minimizing the risk of unsafe products being placed in the Botswana market. And then the second part is we are trying to level the playing field, because remember the importers of this particular products, they are applying for a BOP certificate. So us also as the locals, let's match up Gaborone. Because if you want to import, then it's going to be easy because already we'll be complying with the standards.
Okay. For your contacts, for those who are interested in knowing more, or those who would like to register or to apply, where can they contact you or contact us, Botswana Bureau of Standards?
You can contact me at Beni at bobstandards.bw or at 390-3200 and ask for myself, and then we give you more information.
Okay. Do you have any other contacts other than you? I understand that we have the head office, we have a branch office in Francistown.
I think, like I indicated, you can either contact us on a number in Kibua, or you can come to Gaborone or Francistown. And then in addition, what we'll be doing, if you look at the pamphlets that we issue, there will be some cell phone numbers that you can contact, because the department is called Department of Regulatory Compliance under Compulsory Standards Unit.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for that discussion. As we wrap up now, the last one, what should we expect going forward? What's more? Do you have anything lined up for the future?
Like we indicated, the electrical products didn't see, there are about 80. So we'll be doing more sessions so that we can go one by one on them, so that
Okay. Thank you so much. Viewers, as we come to the end of our discussion, let me remind you that we were having a conversation on registration of locally manufactured electrical products, which is a requirement, a mandatory requirement prescribed by the Standards Compulsory Standards Regulation of 2023. So if you are in the business of producing these products, you are required to register with Botswana Bureau of Standards. You can find us at plot 55745 in Gaborone. We are located in Block 8, just along Airport Road. We have a branch office in Francistown. You can find us at plot 44149. We are housed at MVA Fund House, just behind Gallo Mall. And if you are interested in knowing more, you can contact us at 3903-200 or call our toll-free number at 0800 600 941, or just drop us an inbox on our social media platforms. Until we meet again, goodbye, and always remember to demand quality.